Hi guys, today I'll be demonstrating how to set up a generic network in Cisco Packet Tracer version 7. I've already put my nodes over here. I have 4 routers connected to 4 switches and 2 end devices each. I already placed the nodes because it's just a drag and drop scenario and you don't have to see that. Anyways, so I have connected the end devices to the switches, and I have labeled each of my networks so it's easier for you to see or get an idea of what the network would look like. I haven't assigned any IP addresses to the devices yet. I'll demonstrate that in a few minutes. So I have here the network 192.168.1.0, 2.0, 3.0 and 4.0. And the network for the routers, between the routers I have selected 10.0.0.0, 11, 12 and 13. This is just my convention that I use personally. I usually assign the networks where I connect a router to a switch as the 192 network, and when I'm connecting two routers together I use the 10.0.0 or whatever .0.0.0 network. It's just easier to distinguish that way, and it's yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the routers. There's one thing that I need to mention. While connecting two routers, you will have to do so by using the serial interface, and by default the 1841 router that I have used does not have that port, and so for that you'll have to go ahead and add that interface card. So over here, just if you navigate down below, you'll see the WIC2T, and just select that. You'll have to turn your device off, then select the network interface card and place it in any of the slots that you like. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do that. And after you have placed the slot or the interface card inside the slot, you can just turn your device back on. So you just go ahead and do that for all the 4 routers. I've already done it in my network, so I'll just move ahead to assigning the IP addresses. So for router 0, I will be doing everything using the command line interface. It's easier that way in my opinion. So let's just enable the router. If you don't remember the entire command, you can just press tab and it will auto complete it for you if it is correct. Let's go into the configure terminal. Now I'll assign the IP for this network first, which is the 192. Alright, and this is connected using the fast Ethernet interface. So let's just go to that and type interface fast Ethernet, and in case you don't know which port it is connected to, just hover your pointer to these arrows and it will just show you which port it is. So over here we know it's 0/0, so we just type that in. So then to assign the IP address is IP address 192.168. Okay, so since this is the 2.0 network, the router would have the IP of 2.1, and the PCs I have set or labeled the IP addresses that I will assign later on as 2.2 and 2.3. So 192.168.2.1, and then you'll have to set the subnet mask. So it will be 255.255.255.0. So now that you're done with that, come out of this, because this was the fast Ethernet interface. Oops, I did not connect the routers yet. Let me just do that. So in case you don't understand which connection to use, since there are a lot of options, just select this bold symbol and it will automatically select the best connection for you. So now we've connected this. Let's just go back. This is the serial interface. And I'm just hovering to see which port it is connected to. So like we did before, we'll go to interface, This time it is serial and 0/0/0. Alright, and the IP address is gonna be, I'm gonna assign router 0, and for the 10.0.0.0 network I'll assign the IP 10.0.0.1. Alright, routers usually have the IP addresses that end with 1 because they're usually the first devices in the network. And in the mask, if you don't want to do this using the command line interface, just in case, you can always go to config and select this network. You choose enter your IP address and just press tab, and it will give you the subnet mask automatically. So if you want, you can do it this way or using the command line. It doesn't matter, it will just give you the same thing, whichever is easier for you. So I've given it the 10.0.0.1 IP address. I need to assign it an IP for the 11 network as well. So we'll just come out of this, go back to interface, serial, and which port is this? Let's see, 001. Serial 001. IP address 11.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. And we are done with assigning the IP addresses for now. So yeah, and just to make sure that the router stays up or stays running, we need to write the no shut command. Oops, sorry, no shut. Okay, you need to do that outside. No shut. My bad, it has to be this, a bit confusing. Go here, it's already enabled. Configure terminal, interface, serial 001, no shut. So it is, oh, you can see the change state to down. Okay, it was already up. So you can write cool. So we're done with giving the IP addresses for router 0. Let's just go ahead and do the same for router 1. Go to the command line interface, enable, configure terminal. Now I'll be going a bit fast. If you want, you can just reduce the speed of the video and go command by command. I'm using the short forms of the command because that's how I'm used to do it, but you don't have to. You can use the entire command if you want. So I'll be setting up the fast Ethernet network interface first, and it's FA00. So it will be 00 IP address 192.168. This is the 4.0 network, so it will be 4.1 255.255.255.0. No, we don't need to do that actually. It will automatically turns the state to up. So we came out of that. Next we'll go to the 13 network. We'll assign the IP address for this network. So interface, serial, okay, which port is this? 000 001. Okay, cool. 000 IP address 13.0.0, sorry, .0.0.1 255 to, sorry, 0.0.0. Exit, interface, serial 001, oops, IP address Okay, so this network we have here is 12, so it will be 12.0.0.1 255.0.0.0. Okay, so just so that I don't forget which IP addresses I assigned, this was one, over here for this router, then for router number 1 this was 13.1 and 12.1. It's always a good idea to label the network in case you forget which IP you assigned, and if you don't want to label, you can always see it from here. If you hover your pointer over the router, you can see that the fast Ethernet 00 and the IP serial 000001, it gives you the IP, so you can do it either way. I just like to label the network. So let's go to router number 2. Enable, configure terminal, interface. Again, I'll start with the fast Ethernet, and I think it will be by default 00. IP address 192.168.1.1, since it is the 1.1.0 network. 255.255.255.0. Exit, interface, serial. Let's see what the ports are. 000 and 001. 00. Set the IP. So we have over here the 10 network. We've already assigned 10.0.0.1 to the to router 0, so we'll have to choose a different IP. 10.0.0. Let's take 2, right? And the mask would be 255.0.0.0. Exit. Interface serial 001. IP address. This network is a 13 network. I've already assigned 13.1, so I'll just assign router 2 IP address 13.0.0.2, and the mask will be 255.0.0.0. So we're done with 3 routers. We just left with 1. And if you already know how to set up basic, or how to set up configure the IP addresses, you can just skip this part, save your time. I still have to do this. Interface fast Ethernet 00 IP address. Okay, which network is this? It's the 3.0 network, so 192.168.3.1. Oops, I did not assign the mask, subnet mask. 255.255.255.0. Exit. Interface serial. This is 001 and this is 000. Alright. So let's just do the 000 first. 000 IP address of 12 for the 12th network, so 12.0.0.2, because .1 is already assigned, and the subnet mask as usual. Again, go back to the interface serial 001. This is the last one. Yes. And this network belongs, this is the, which network is this? Oh, the 11 network. IP address 11.0.0.2, 192.168.1.1.255.0.0.0. Alright, so we have assigned the IP addresses to all the routers successfully. So what's left? We'll get over with assigning the IP addresses to the end devices and get that out of the way. Just go to desktop, IP configuration, assign the IP addresses. Take note that you've already assigned an IP from the 198 network to the router, so you'll have to assign an IP excluding that. So here in this case, my router has the IP address of 192.168.1.1, so I'll assign this PC 192.168.1.2, and if you just press tab, it will automatically select the assign the subnet mask for you. This is very important. You'll have to set up the default gateway, and the default gateway tells you or tells the PC basically where to forward the packets to, or which router to forward the packets to, or because in this network this is the gateway, the packets would go to another network through this router, so this acts as a gateway, and you'll have to mention the IP address for the same IP address of this router. So it was 192.168.1.1. Sorry, 1.1. Okay, just go ahead and do that for all the PCs. This is a pretty lengthy task. If you already know how to do this, just go ahead and skip this part. 192.168 2.2 190, and the router's IP address is 192.168.2.1. This is why I label my addresses beforehand. It is easier, much easier to assign the IP addresses when you know which IP address to assign to. Two networks down, 2 to go. This is the 3.0 network, so 3.2. And be sure to assign the IP addresses properly, because in many cases if you miss out on something or mistype, then it will come and bite you back, and you won't even know. You'll have to go through all the IP addresses and check where and see where you made the mistake. Alright. So we're done with the assigning the IP addresses to all the devices. Now we'll have to use a routing protocol between the routers if you want to route the packets properly. So in this video I'll be using the routing interface protocol, the RIP, and it's really simple. It's just 2 commands, so let's just go ahead and do that. So go into the config mode, and the command for setting the RIP protocol is just router RIP. I will go into that mode, and then all you need to do is mention which networks the router is connected to. So for that you just type in network and just go one by one. So I'll just assign the 192.168.2.0 network. Then we have the 10.0 network 0, and the 11 network. Oops. So that's it. This router is connected to only 3 interfaces. So you'll need to mention the networks it's connected to. If you don't remember this command, or if you rather prefer doing it manually, you can always go here in the config mode and use the RIP option, mention the network and press add, so it'll automatically do that for you. Over here you can see I've added these networks, so we're done with that. Let's go ahead for this one, config router RIP network. Let's see, this is the 3.0 network, so 192.168.3.0. it is connected to 11 and 12, so 11 and 12. Next router, it is the 4.0 network. Router RIP network 192.168.4.0. then this is connected to the 13 and the 12 network, so go ahead and add that. Network, this has the 1.0, 10 and 13.